a good place. If it's a good place.
All right, Ben.
George, meet. Where are we going to sit, George?
My friend.
So can everyone just kind of keep it down for a little bit?
Just to a dull roar.
Dull roars are good. How are you, sir?
I'm good, George. How are you?
Very well, nice to see
So
you.
before they started rolling, you leaned over and you go
Started
ahead.
singing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna hit the highway like a battering ram on a silver black Phantom bike.
But at least I'll give you credit for one thing. You got the words right.
Of course.
Because somebody the other day did this sort of the same thing, only the words were so wrong. And they go, "That's one of my favorite songs." And they started singing the words. I'm going, well, I can see it's one of your favorites.
Do people do that a lot? I guess they do. They start singing to you?
Yeah, well, not all the time. Most of the time they ask me, most people would be coming from the Anything for Love song, what is that? Mm-hmm. And I just look at them and go, you have a filthy mind. That's what that is. You have an absolute filthy
That's
mind. Let's
funny.
just get it straight.
And I guess that means you do too then.
No, because I know what that is.
See, I always thought you didn't know and that you guys just wrote that song and you let it be. And then who needs to know what that is? The problem in our culture is you need to know what that is.
See, I thought that the human race, I gave it credit for being much more intelligent than it really is.
That's your first mistake.
That was my first mistake, because there was a huge discussion in the studio about that song with Jim Steinman and myself. And Jim goes, do you think they'll understand this? I'm going, Jim, it's in black and white. Come on. It's just, what is not to understand? How simple can you not? It's so
Oops.
And he goes, well, you really think so? Because I think he wanted to alter it somehow. Because it's the line before every chorus. I'll never stop dreaming of you every night of my life. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the way you feel right now. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. Yeah. And there's 9 of them. There's 9 lines before every chorus. And I said, Jim, it's in black and white. See, I think he wanted to change it slightly. Knowing Jim, he wanted to repeat it several times, you know. Never stop dreaming of you. No, I'll never stop dreaming of you. No, I'll never stop. I won't stop dreaming of you. I won't do that every night, you know.
I wondered, though, if you were trying to convince her or yourself when you sang that line.
I'm trying to convince you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince both of us. I'm saying it for her, but I'm convincing myself. I'm saying it for her benefit, but convincing myself.
Okay, so now we're at this point. And we're at Battle to Hell 3.
Yeah, I'm still trying to convince her.
How's it working out for you?
Hey, it hasn't worked out yet, has it?
No.
No. Maybe in the final chapter it will.
Is there a reason other than it's a successful franchise and it's an instant way to sell records to call it Battle to Hell 3?
Yeah, it's a different world. If you really go and if you listen to Bat 1, Bat 2, Bat 3. And then you listen to what is so-called Meatloaf records. It's a different artist. It's a great marketing tool. And don't be.
Well, because people you know who will listen to it and go, that guy's just trying to make money off 1 and 2.
Well, that's their problem, not mine. But it's like they're the people who can't finish a project either. It's the same people who, listen, dear, don't worry about that wall over there. I'll get. Listen, I promise, next Sunday I'll finish painting it, okay? It's like they're the people who can't finish anything.
Well, now, in defense of them,
I have no defense. They have no defense.
You are finishing this, but decades later, so you're not that quick on the draw either.
Yeah, but it needed decades for it to sink in.
To you? Did it?
It needs decades, yeah, because you know what? The Bat of Hell would not have seeded and blossomed and done what it has done had you put another one right on top of it. It's sort of like, I think the Beatles, if they would have left time between their records, they would have had more, you know, I mean, the Beatles as an overall project is huge, but I think individually, if you took albums individually and let them breathe more, you would have more classics and more epics in there.
Well, if you think about it, the first record came out in '63, but that to me it was shit until '65 when they put out Help, right? And then from '60, but they were done by '70. It was 5 years.
Yeah.
Abbey Road, the White Album.
Yeah, so they needed more time between them. Even though now you all sit back, they've had time, but at the time, you know, which one is Norwegian Wood on and
It's Revolver, isn't it? It's a
Revolver,
it's a
yeah.
Revolver,
See,
yeah.
Revolver is one of their best records, one of their best, and it's like you hear about Abbey Road, you hear about the White, you hear about, but people don't sit around and go Revolver. But if Revolver had had time to breathe and expand and let it take roots better, it would.
See, I don't think we would have got those other records because I don't think they would have got along long enough. I think the good.
Destiny did what Destiny did. All I'm saying is that it was wrong for us to come so fast behind with another Bat Out of Hell.
Thanks for your time, man.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.